Going to go real slow. This will drop at Mesta.
Okay.
Wemco down there.
Well, I saw the other one come through this way, and it stopped, and I thought that the crews
they drop and they pick up
switcher
down here.
trains.
They'll drop a coil car sometimes or pick one up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once we were here, there was 3 trains on this track at the same time. Now, when you get down underneath the bridge, these 3 tracks don't go that far. The third track goes into track 1.
Right.
Because it's 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And 1's in the middle, 2's on the outside, and 3's on this way. It's weird how they have them. And that's Union Railroad's here.
Right.
That's their track.
That's the reason why I bought the shirt. That's where my family worked.
Yeah. But that was something we seen 3 at the same time here. But it was going slow enough that it was all past and it didn't interfere with it. This one here would stay in a siding down here. What's up, bud? Oh, back in the day, I'd ride them. If I was 40 years younger, I'd be on it, and had the time, I'd be on one of them.
The only engines that I ever rode anywhere on, my dad worked for the Union.
Yeah.
And when I was a teenage boy, he'd bring me over to Duquesne.
Wow.
And I'd get on the engine with him to go different places.
Yeah. Wow.
And I remember we got there and he'd say, you sit right here and don't move your butt.
Yeah. We used to love to hop them down at Panther Hollow Lake.
Yes.
We'd hop in and ride them so far, ride them up the Central and get off, you know. You know, when you're young, you don't think about getting hurt. You're full of wind, piss, and air. Nothing bothers you.
And nowadays, having just the 1 foot, I wouldn't even want to try it.
Right, exactly. Well, if you're in your right mind, you wouldn't want to try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you see them going that slow,
we used to hop them from Katanning up to Templeton. There was a brickyard up in Templeton that we used to hop on. Sunday mornings, we'd take the train down into Katanning to get breakfast from where we had our little camp up on Block 8. But that was a long time ago, too.
Yeah.
I was a teenage kid 50 years ago.
There was a place in Somerset, right, probably 10 miles from where the crash of that plane went down.
Yes, yeah.
The guy had a camp, outside of his house, he built an A-frame, and it was for real fans, and it said the second best place in the world. He sold it. But we used to go up there and stay. It'd be like $60 a night. Mm-hmm. Real nice place. We'd build a big campfire outside. It would sleep 8. His wife would make you a pie, but anyway, it was right on the rail line, and at the time, it was 45 to 50 CSX train all day long. And the guy we were there one time on the lookout, and the engineer said, bring the kids down. We walked down, he had all the kids go through the train engine because he was waiting for another train to pass, and they were just so nice about it.
The Port Authority train, Pat train, it used to run. I used to ride that in and out of Pittsburgh every month. Well, I would go to Versailles Borough, where I still film today, where their siding was to board people on a train. And they said to me one day, hey, you want your kids to come up in a cab and look around? I said, as long as I can come too. Yeah, I was the biggest kid of all. McKeesport Connecting.
The place in Somerset was up on top of the mountain, and then 10 miles down was a town that they had, CSX had a train derailment there. Hyman. You ever hear of Hyman?
Yes.
It's on the border of Pennsylvania and Maryland.
Right. I was going to say Ohio, but I was wrong.
It's beautiful. The whole town is all trains, but that's where we used to go all the time. It's only 90 miles basically from here to Somerset. And it's right. His camp is right at the base where all them turbines are at. You can see from the turnpike.
Those windmills.
Yeah. And we used to have a great time up there, but he was 85. He sold the place. We couldn't afford to buy it. But what a beautiful layout he had up there. My God.
Picking up a little speed. Not much though.
I would think he's probably going to drop one of them if he's going to stop. If he has to, eventually we'll get on to track 1 because track 3 runs out.
Right.
So I don't know if he's gonna drop one of these, but usually that's what they do. They'll drop one of them foil cars. Boy, these people get pissed off at all this traffic.
Well, the train that come through to our left that stopped, it was across the road crossing here earlier, and I thought the crews were switching. I thought the crews were getting on this one to go back. But I was surprised. The last time I was here and a train stopped there, cars were blowing their horn, people were swearing out of their cars. Today I heard none of that.
Yeah. But when they first put this down here, I was reading it. On the other side of, that was Myers Plumbing over there.
Right.
They were going to put a ramp in. But
Okay.
said, we don't have the money right now. After this gets going,
Then we're going to put a ramp in.
because they give this guy down there that built this, they give him 17 years of free taxi. He didn't have to pay nothing. The only money that they collected was from the people that worked there. They never got nothing from all the property down there.
Right.
Well, they never ended up building the ramp. The ramp was going to overshoot, and the land's still down there open.
They didn't do it.
Yeah, but that's what, if they would have put the ramp in, that would have served. That would help a lot.
In McKeesport, they put that flyover ramp over to what's now the industrial park.
Right, exactly.
There was talk about that, I swear, for 15 years. I don't think I'm exaggerating, before it ever got built.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember it being in the Daily News. It wasn't going to come over the tracks and come right down on Lyle Boulevard. It was going to come over the tracks and stay high and connect in with Fifth Avenue, which is much higher than Lyle Boulevard, and that's not the way they did it.
Yeah. Well, they might have. Maybe they'll end up getting COVID. Everybody and their mother got COVID money. All these big, So maybe they'll get COVID money to build it.
Maybe.
But they should have one. There should be another way, because there's no.
I agree. There should be one on each end of the waterfront here.
Exactly. Boy, is he moving slow. There's some old cars there. Look at that. I love it. You can see a date on them things. I can't check the date.
$9.93 new.
93, yeah, right. Some of them look like they're older than that, huh?
I agree.
See that many on that line.
Well, that track is pretty long going out the other direction.
Yeah.
Who is GRW?
Is that Gary Railways?
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking it is now.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I could be wrong.
This is East Johnstown and Erie, isn't it? EJ and
I
E?
believe so. Okay. Just get yourself set up. Boy, look, I've never seen one this long on John Street. Of course, we're never
my
here
dad's
till 1
railroad.
o'clock in the afternoon, though.
Hey, baby, this is a windy
Yeah, it's McKeesport.
Yep. See, my dad's father worked for McKeesport Connecting, and my dad's worked for the Union. I graduated in '79 and wanted to get on either one of them, and they both said, you don't want either one of them. Everything was leaving, and they were right. How many of the mills pulled out and left?
Yeah.
This behind us, this was all mill site.
Yeah, I know, I worked there.
I never got a chance to.
We walked, the gate was here. And we had to walk all the way down to Mesta to get to where we had to check in.
I know where Mesta was, yeah.
And it was almost a mile, but you learned how to walk through all the shops and all that.
Right.
We used to pay a guy had a restaurant here, Gateway Restaurant, and he leased all this property from the railroad that owned us at the time, and we would pay him to park here because otherwise, if you parked in a mill parking lot, it was down there called the hole in the wall, which was in the mun hall. But you had to walk this way unless you came 3 hours early to get the front spots.
Do you know of the Terminal Cafe? I don't know if they're still open. Used to be down here on,
Yes, yes.
Okay. I used to deliver produce there
Oh boy.
when I drove produce truck for Jordan's when I got out of high school. And I always laughed, the Terminal Cafe.
Yeah.
And a woman used to say, "What's wrong?" And nothing's wrong with it. It just,
Yeah.
putting those two words
Right.
together makes me wonder.
Right.